Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for making your way to the Best Western, our kind of camp out place. If you have an empty seat next to you, could you just raise your hand? There's empty seats all over the place. So, Dan, there's a couple right up here together and a couple right there if Rachel's with you. Okay. Okay, good. So now this is our. Well, let me take care of two things before I welcome our friends that are here on Friendship Sunday. If you need to use the restroom, go out that door and around in the room that's just on the other side of that divider. It comes out to the same corridor here, and then you won't have to go in front of everybody and. You got that. And then the next thing is we have a new ancestor. And the new ancestor is Bill Walker. Bill Walker made his transition in the 4 o'clock hour this morning. And you know, people say the 4 o'clock hour, there's something very, very special about that. And so how appropriate on this Sunday that we get to honor a new ancestor, and you'll hear more about that in a moment. Now, I would like to welcome warmly the people who are here for the first time, who are our new friends, and we have a rose to give you. So if you could just put your hand up if you're here for the first time. Anybody? There's one. Welcome. And Michael's right there. Michael's got a rose. Anyone else here for the first time? Well, you that I haven't seen in a while, welcome back. And it's such a wonderful soft morning, you know, as they say in Ireland, where it rains 200 days a year. So we are recreating the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living here, and I hope you all come to the Corte Madera Community Center next Sunday, where our regular services are, but we get to recreate our community here, and thank you so much for so many of you coming. Our vision is awakening personal transformation, and our mission is teaching tools for positive change. That's what we do every time 2 or more of us are gathered, is that we awaken each other and we share spiritual tools for that awakening. So the global vision this year, as you all know, we're coming down the home stretch, just a couple more months, is a world that works for everyone. And so what that means is a world where everyone has a reasonable expectation that their needs are going to be met, that their supply, their shelter, their love, their health, and their ability to give their gifts is there for them, you know, and the world is really our world, everybody on it. It's our home. And, you know, in this time when, you know, greed is, rampant, pretty much, at least it's in the news quite a bit, I am reminded of that great mystic Mary Poppins, who said, enough is as good as a feast. And so that's a world that works for everyone, is where everyone has enough. You know, enough is as good as a feast. So our October theme, which we are finishing up today, is global transformation through personal transformation. And so on this final and fifth Sunday of this month, if you have made this month in October some conscious steps to peace, contentment, connection, forgiveness, non-judgment, I think that we can all hold that this is a spiritually successful month. Anybody made any strides? Yes! Awesome. So the title that I have today is Reaching Through Spiritual Dimensions. And it's in honor of the High Holy Day that is tomorrow. And it is my mom's birthday, but that's not what I'm talking about. Frank, bless his heart, is such a disciple of my mom that he always manages to be the welcome man some Sunday in October, so he can remind you of the holy month of October when Doris Jones breathed her first breath. This is also tomorrow is an ancient holiday, and it's actually the holiest day of the year in the ancient calendar of the Celts. And most of us, we're all descendants of the Celts. You know, we're all that those people that come, you know, from the north of Europe and then over into the British Isles. Every single one of us has Celtic origins. So the holiday is called Samhain, and it is the holiday that is celebrated where our ancestors believed that the veil between the worlds was the thinnest. And so in order to really have the feeling of this, I love this rain. So let's imagine, if you would, that we don't have these luminous lights, but we have a world that is lit by fire, lit only by fire. And the fire in the hearth, there's a fire, I can see it. Thank you, God. Right out there is the fire. The fire in the hearth and the fire in the candles is the only light we have. And human faces are so, so, so beautiful in the firelight. No wonder there's so many of us. So it's the season of growing darkness, and actually, you know, this, to continue that theme, more babies really are born in August, which means, you know what, as the darkness begins and the light is lower, the babies are begun. So, but getting back to Samhain, this is not the sexual holiday. This is another kind of holiday. It's a very, very different energy from spring. I mean, you can remember spring, and you can anticipate spring. And that is a very energetic, energy-rising kind of holiday. And this is a settling kind of feeling. And I have a lovely little piece to share with you out of this book called Kindling the Celtic Spirit. And I mean, I could say all this to you because I know I know the material of this quote, but it has my new favorite word in it. And so you will hear it when I say it. Samhain comes from two words meaning summer's end. In the 7th century, it was Christianized as All Saints' Day, also known as Hallowmas or Hollantide, which commemorated the souls of the holy dead. The night before, which was the most important time for the festival we know as Halloween. Throughout the centuries, pagan and Christian beliefs have intertwined in a gallimaufry of customs and celebrations. From October 31st through the middle of November, all designed to usher in the mysteries of the dark half of the year. A gallimaufry of customs. And you know, that's really how all of our holidays happen. They're a mashup of the old and the new, and the conquerors and the conquered. And so this holiday is maintained as a sacred opening to the next world through the doorway that we call death. But it is that holiday when the energy is slowing, and it's also called the third harvest holiday in the ancient world, where the animals who were not going to be wintered and fed throughout the winter were slaughtered for food. And so it's a holiday that honors the ancestors, and so that's why I think it's so absolutely marvelous that we have our new ancestor that we can celebrate, Bill Walker. I want to read from John O'Donohue now about death, because it's one of those things that, you know, our ancestors kind of handled better than we do, and we're all this is the mystical experience that all of us are guaranteed. We are all guaranteed the mystical experience of leaving our body. And so any chance I get in feeling comfortable about it, I want to share with you. So this is what John O'Donohue, the Celtic mystic, says about this, among other things. To continually transfigure the faces of your own death ensures that at the end of your life, your physical death will be no stranger, robbing you against your will of the life that you have had. You will know its face intimately. Since you have overcome your fear, your death will be meeting with a lifelong friend from the deepest side of your own nature. And so that's what I absolutely believe. And in the Celtic tradition, they felt that ancestors don't go very far away. That I mean, like they're right here. And so I'd like us actually to call in anybody that has passed on that you would like here with you today. So I begin by Bill Walker and Doris Jones. And then just fill in for me, just whisper their names. Leila Gallatin, Nina, Helen, David. It's gotten kind of cozy in here. Can you feel it? So this is the idea that the next realm is very, very close. And we can call them in, especially at this time. And so I really encourage you tonight to have a special ceremony for yourselves, maybe with a candle, and just calling in your people from the other side. And lest you think that I am so far afield in the pagan realm, I would like to read a wonderful quote from our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. When we come into this life, we are met by loving friends who cared for us until we are able to care for ourselves. Judging the future from the past and going from the known to the unknown, we believe that when we enter the larger life, there will be loving hands to greet us and loving friends to care for us until we become accustomed to our new surroundings. Nature looks after everything and provides for herself at every turn of the road. We may confidently expect to meet friends on the other side and to know and be known when we shall meet. So sweet. Pretty much in every tradition, when you go into the mystical side, that's what they say. So today, when we reach through spiritual dimensions, what I want us to do is think much more broadly than simply this holiday of leaving, that celebrates leaving our body and going into the eternal realm, because that unformed place is the source of everything. It's where we were before we came here. It's where we're going. But it's also where all the ideas are, all of the feelings are, all of the dreams and visions. We call it the mind of God. And that is what it is. I mean, that's one thing to call it, is the dimension that sources this realm of form. So, you know, I talk a lot, I read this quote about where an apple comes from, but what it says to me is that although we see and feel this dimension very, very strongly, there are layers of reality that go to a finer and finer and finer place. And the first place, right there up against the mind of God, or whatever it is, where a new idea bursts forth and a new idea bursts forth, there is a lot of support to get it here to where we can see it. And this rendition of an apple it reminds me of that. As from the seed a tree grows, so from the seed idea a pattern issues forth from the center. So this is the pattern of the apple, passed on by silent ranks of angels, silent and still, because that idea is still too unformed and unfixed to endure any but the most exacting care. When the pattern is passed on to the elements, the makers of form, they give of themselves to clothe the pattern. Then at the appropriate opportunity, through the ministrations of the nature spirits, it appears in time and place. This is the Word made flesh. This is all creation. Ernest Holmes talks about spirit and some inner act upon itself. It's a mystery. It is one of the mysteries. And this is absolutely the holiday to celebrate the mysteries. So today we're going to consciously feel into the other realms. And to say also that Ernest Holmes, our founder, believed in those levels. He said, I can believe in planes beyond this one without number, in eternal progress. I cannot believe that nature is limited to one sphere of action. So our senses sort of seduce us into this realm, into all of the beautiful sights and smells and touches, and what a gift the physical body is to interpret the world through our senses. And the source realm is beyond the form. And that plane or dimension is, it's hard, well, we don't know how to talk about it. It's thinner, the vibration is faster, the multiple realms get more rarefied. It goes from heavy, dense to delicate, filmy. Thomas Troward, one of the authors that inspired Ernest Holmes so much, said, form is slowed down spirit. That's why when we talk about the Word being made flesh, that the flesh reflects the word that was spoken. You know, just like you can't plant a radish and get a carrot, you can't plant hate and get love. So we live in all of these realms, in all of these dimensions, in all of these levels, and all of these planes, as Ernest Holmes said. When we pray, meditate, vision, plan, intuit, or visualize, we are in the dimensions of the formless. Some of you are listening to me now with your eyes closed. I think because you're not sleeping. You want to feel into that realm of the formless. And these delicate dimensions are all around us. They contain solutions and inspiration, invisible qualities. They contain the beginnings of things. This is another quote from John O'Donohue. Each day our tribe of language holds what we call the world together. Yet the uttering of the word reveals how each of us relentlessly creates. Everyone is an artist. Each person brings sound out of silence and coaxes the invisible to become visible. So in these realms, we not only co-create, but we nest, we rest, we appreciate, we heal. And this is the time of year that invites us into that quieting place of turning within and feeling those rarefied fields and letting those rarefied fields heal us and inspire us and bring us contentment. So there are spiritual practices, really, that help us to reach into this dimension of answers, solutions, and inspirations from every single tradition. Of course, I went immediately to the shamanic journey. And in a shamanic journey, you are invited to start with your imagination and create for yourself a realm that is unlike this one. And then to simply wait to see what happens. And then the visions are revealed and revealed and revealed. In our tradition, that very same practice is called visioning. It's just the same, where we ask a question that we don't know the answer to, and then we wait and try not to answer it from our conscious mind, but simply wait for that inspiration. In our Celtic ancestors did something called scrying. And scrying is when you take a bowl of water and you stir it, by candlelight, of course, and then see visions in the water. It's the same thing as a shamanic journey, and it's the same thing as visioning. It is a practice to access the finer realms and get answers that are from the mind of God instead of, well, our mind is also the mind of God, but in our conscious mind, we often refer back to memories, or we refer back to what is familiar, or we evaluate and take the best from the past and bring it to the present, instead of just waiting for something else that might want to appear. So this brings me to the essential skill of dimension travel. The essential skill of dimension travel is listening. Listening without any agenda. To put the question out there, and you can know that there is a high answer that is for the good of all, but it might be something that it never occurred to you. How many of you have had that happen, where you have this urge to do something, to go someplace, to make a phone call, you have no idea why, and then the most miraculous thing happens? That's good listening. That is good listening. Because if we believe that our source is for us, which we absolutely do, we believe that for every need there is a fulfillment, and for every hurt there is a healing, and for every challenge there is a blessing. I practice all the time, because I still get upset, you know? I get, as many prayers as I've prayed, and as many times that I've told you things that I think are wise, and hopefully you think are wise, I still get upset. And what I try to do when I get upset is not justify my upset anymore, but to ask myself, what is the blessing that wants to be revealed through this? And in this moment in history where we are right now, where there is a lot of fear everywhere, I do that a lot. I imagine what is the blessing that is mine. And if it's my blessing, it might be your blessing too. So I am working every day with creating world peace around me. You know, I know some people that do that already. Some of our practitioners, most of our practitioners are able to generate world peace around them. And that is what I am trying to do as well, so that I live through God's peace that buffers me, and everyone that comes into my environment is healed by that peace. And if I fall out of it, I give you all permission to remind me and say, Reverend Karyl, where is your peace? And maybe you don't have to do it like that, but I'll go there. I'll go there. So often when we have a question that we pose to God, and we expect an answer because we've had so many answers in the past, we come to asking that question from a place of absolute confusion, right? You are clueless. I'm clueless about some things. We're confused. We're wondering. We are without an idea. And we are asking for something to emerge from the rarefied dimensions that we can grasp. It's like, I know the answer is out there, and we are praying, listening, opening, receiving something clear from those rarefied realms. Now, I believe that if we listen long enough, we will absolutely hear it. So I have an example of that within our community. It's not a life or death thing, but it involves the solstice this year. So the winter solstice is the biggest thing that we do all year. We've done it for more than 10 years, and we were in the midst of reimagining it, and had some volunteers around us. Bodie and I had some people that were helping us, and then it sort of kind of it just fell down. It just there wasn't anything. All of a sudden, it was very strange. Like there maybe solstice doesn't want to happen this year. So and we've mentioned it at the core council, and I have advice from people, from the realm of form, but I am still in the question. So and I wanted to bring it to you before we say, it doesn't want to happen this year, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure it does or does not want to happen. But what I do know is that these are the leadership positions we need. If something within you is saying, oh my God, we've got to do solstice, and I'm here to help, these are the leadership positions we need. Front of house taking money, house setup, food, bar, decorations, ticket production and advertising, cleanup, ushers, and we need a producer. And all these are team leads. So you see how much immense work this has taken in the past. So just to tell you that this is one of those times when I am reaching into the realm of the formless and saying, what wants to happen here? And if you have part of the answer, let me know. So how to navigate these dimensions. And this is what I would have on PowerPoint. We don't have PowerPoint today, but I'll put this in the outgoing letter to remind you, if you do not get the outgoing letter, go to our website, ggcsl.org. Just click on subscribe, and you will be able to get my outgoing letter. So here are the 3 things that you need to know about navigating the rarefied dimensions. First of all, know that it is the source of everything. It is the source of everything. So you don't look for the source in the realm of form. You look for the source of ideas, solutions, healing, miracles in the formless realm. That's where they are. Second, you know that there is an answer. You may not see it, you may not feel it, you may be clueless, but there is an answer, or you would not have the question. It cannot be in God's universe that you have a question and God is clueless. That's impossible. So know there is an answer. And then you pray and wait. You pray and wait. In the Bible, it says, wait upon the Lord. You pray and wait. There's a beautiful, beautiful meditation in the Science of Mind in the back that I want to read to you. And it's called, My Own Shall Come to Me. From far and near, my own shall come to me. Even now it is coming to me, and I receive it. My own is now manifesting itself to me, and I see and know its presence. My own shall know and respond to me. My own cannot be kept from me. Neither can I keep my good away from me. I receive my good now. My own shall find me. No matter where I go, it will follow and claim me. I cannot hide myself from my own. My own shall come to me, even though I deny it. For there is nothing in me that can hinder it from entering and taking possession of my soul. no worries, honeys. No worries. So I want to encourage you in this perfect season of turning within to take some time from the outer world and explore this rarefied dimension of inner support and wisdom. And as I do every season, let yourself rest. Let yourself rest in the dark time. Take some time in the firelight and restore your soul. And make babies if you want to. Absolutely, yes. Be pregnant with something, that's for sure. Thank you, Ashley. So our spiritual principles today are: the realm of spirit is the source of all. Spirit is everywhere present, all-knowing and all-powerful. And your spiritual practice is: be receptive, listen, and open to the unseen side of life. So I have a little personal ritual to conclude for the inner work as Bodhi's getting ready for the next solo. So what I want you to do is imagine that there are some things that are covering you up that, if they were gone, would allow you to access these finer realms. So just begin by brushing off disappointments. Yeah, great. Brush off comparison. Brush off other people's expectation. Yeah. Brush off any anger or fear. And brush off the need to acquire more than, your picnic. And then feel lighter. Placing your hands now on your heart and allowing your awareness to enter the doorway of the heart that opens to a universe as vast and beautiful on the inside, more so than this beautiful universe on the outside. And whether or not you can see or sense or feel or know or not know those rarefied dimensions, know that all of your life comes from somewhere. And that somewhere is through the doorway of the heart. Pose any question. Give any gratitude. Feel the ancestors around you. And in this moment, with the ancestors around you, feel your own edges become porous. Feel yourself drifting into the universe, and all good drifting to that concentration of consciousness that you call yourself. An exchange of you and the universe, letting your gifts drift out and letting your gifts drift back, penetrating the dimensions of reality and knowing that at every level there is God and our oneness with that source. And so it is.